Morning, day 6,150. 10 days left with kids. 10 days left with kids. We're really counting them down. Last week I talked a lot about coaching, and this week I thought I'd tie a couple things in here with teaching and coaching. This is a rubric that has 10 performance standards that we use in the TKES evaluation system for the teachers in the state of Georgia. And it's caused a lot of consternation. There's a lot of people that, think it's a very rigorous, very difficult observation system. And it does involve six different observations where we used to have two, and it has way more expectations on it. So there's been a lot of, people are not, super happy with this. And so I was thinking about, like, with my coaching, and one of the things that, I started thinking was I did a lot of these things when I was coaching. Like, the first one's professional knowledge. I knew our offense and our defense. I knew what everybody else in our, that we played, I knew what their offense and defense was. And I pretty much knew what all the offensive coordinators did basically everywhere in the country in college. So I pretty much knew everything I needed to know about, the knowledge of the systems that we ran. Instructional planning. We would get our data on Saturday. We'd get our video on the other teams, and by the end of Saturday, we would know every formation they ran, every defense they ran, everything about every one of their players, every play they like to run out of every formation, what they like to do on first down, second down, third down, fourth down. We knew everything there was, plus we broke down our video, and we knew all about our kids, and we had grades for them, and we knew all of our tendencies. So we had that, and then we planned out what we were going to do for the week on Sunday. So I knew what I was going to do every day of the week already on Sunday, all the way up to Friday night, and I knew what we were going to do on Friday night. So there's a lot of instructional planning that went on. Instructional strategies, we knew every drill that we were going to do for every position that we coached. We knew exactly how to get our players ready. We knew all the latest and greatest research methods that there were out there in coaching, and every player had to perform them right there in front of us, and if they didn't, they had to do them again. Differentiated instruction, we had 22 different positions, like just in football, 22 different positions on offense and defense, and then dozens of other positions on special teams. And you had an opportunity, you could play any of those, and then we'd have to coach them all differently, and then we'd have to bring them all together in groups. And after we brought them all together in groups, we'd bring them all together as a whole team to work together. So that was differentiation. A lot of people are having a hard time with that in the classroom. We pretty much did that all day long. Assessment strategies. We assessed every day in every drill, every practice. We assessed the individuals, we assessed the groups, and we assessed the team, and basically performance assessments. Assessment uses. On Friday night, we got to pick our best players and put them out there, and how they had performed during the week. And then we would perform in front of thousands of people, and then those people would get to assess how we did, and they would talk about whether we did our job and whether the kids did their jobs. And so we got a lot of different assessment uses there. Positive learning environment. We patted kids on the back. We built them up. We rewarded them with playing time. We fed them. We gave them trophies. And we played a lot of jokes and had a good time. So that was a positive learning environment. Academically challenging. They had to know all kind of plays. They had to know multiple positions, offense and defensive positions. They had to know all the plays, all the defensive calls, all the special team calls, and they all had to be able to do that on the fly while they were performing an activity. So a lot of these guys that act like they can't read in your classroom, they can't do, they can perform academically complicated things. Professionalism. We went to clinics 3-4 times a year, but we didn't go during the season. See, we didn't take time out while we were actually coaching to go somewhere to learn about coaching because we were too busy coaching. So we didn't have professional learning during the season. We went out in the off season, and then we'd teach each other all the time about how to do all these different things. I had to teach other coaches all the time about how to do drills that I knew how to do, and they would teach me stuff that I didn't know. We were constantly teaching each other, not just on our team, but on other teams. We always worked with other coaches and all over the state. Communication. We had to communicate with our players. We had to communicate with the other coaches. We had to communicate with the administrators, the press, and then if we got fired, we'd have to communicate with our wives to explain how come we got fired from coaching. So, I think if I'd have done all this and we had the TKES for coaching, I think I would have got all fours. How about that? Oh, and I almost forgot. If you're a teacher and you think coaches aren't very smart, you might want to check out what all they do, because they do a lot of things and they understand all of this thing right here. I can promise you that. So do band directors, people like that. You might want to check them out. And if you're a coach and you can go out there and do all this during the week, on the football field or the basketball court, you probably ought to be doing it in your classroom, because you sure are capable of doing it. So why don't you transfer it into the classroom, and then everybody will be happy. Then you can really show out to the other teachers on your staff. Have a good day.